Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at a video from Neverwinter, the newly released MMO, free MMO on the Xbox One. Obviously, it was released prior on the PC a couple years ago. It just recently ported over to the next gen console, and it's been a cool game. I decided to check it out, and I made a Guardian Fighter, and this is the 8th Skirmish. And essentially what's different about this one is, as you could see, I was taking damage over time when I wasn't near, and when I'm not near the torches, the heated area. You see 34 keep ticking up and 30 this, 30 that. That's a new aspect in the mechanics of the skirmishes that I've seen so far. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing a commentary on this because for some reason when I did stream, the audio was bad. Like for some reason it wasn't syncing correctly, as you can see from other various videos that I've posted in regards to this game. You get in-game audio. Unfortunately, since this one didn't, I decided just to throw on my voice. But yeah, this skirmish was pretty simplistic, as most of them are. You had to go light those fire pit areas and protect them essentially from the enemies. The enemies were attracted to them. You had to bounce back and forth, and thwarting them and slaying them as different waves came. And it's pretty fun. As you can see, we had me, I was level 47 at the time, Guardian Fighter. Jake Purr, level 50, Rogue. Miria, 48, Greater Sword Fighter, I believe is what they're called. 46, Cleric. Shinga Tumai, and Alexis was a level 50 Warlock. So we had a good diverse group. A lot of different abilities and capabilities because each of us were a different class. And so it was a lot of fun just going around. It was very efficient. And what I like most about my class now is, like I said, I'm at the point where, as you can see, I fit the part, I fit the role of a tank. The gear looks, up to par with what you'd expect. That sword that I'm wielding right there was something I just recently got in one of the dungeons, in my new dungeons that I unlocked and was able to access at the particular level. And it was just fun times. So they had different variations of enemies, as you can see. They had like wolves and troll dudes and little goblin guys and stuff like that came in groups and did varying different attacks to try to impose their will against us, as we wanted to light the shrine things and to stay warm and to avoid the dot damage that we'd acquire from the bitter cold. So that's one thing I like about this game as well. It has various different mechanics that pop up from area to area. It's a lush, it's a pretty expansive world, and it has different environments, very rich in the textures, very rich in the differentiations between areas, not only in regards to, like I said, the scenery and the feel and the weather, etc., but the actual forms of trees and grass and water, on top of the enemies, of course. It's that inhabit the land, so it's pretty cool. And like I said, this particular skirmish provided a new mechanic of being constantly damaged due to the environment, and that's something that I had yet to see through other skirmishes and dungeons and stuff like that. And it's always a lot of fun with these skirmishes because you're always fighting batches of enemies, and it's constantly action packed without really having to move and travel all that much. I mean, dungeons are in essence the same way as well, but you're on a constant move from throughout the entire thing, and some of them can get pretty lengthy. Skirmishes are much shorter in duration, but they provide like I said, 100% action from start to finish, and that's what makes them, I think, essentially a fan favorite. Because a lot of people, when you think of MMOs, think, oh, it's a grind, a lot of time has to be invested, and to some extent that's true. And some activities, within MMOs are, require hours in time, at least in, other MMOs. Neverwinter, I haven't really experienced any that, take that long. Like I said, skirmishes are a lot shorter in duration. Dungeons, I haven't exceeded an hour. The closest I got to an hour long dungeon was when at the end, final boss fight, like you go in as 5-man teams, obviously, as you can see here, and you can acquire a companion with you, and so can the rest of your teammates. So it's almost like a 10-man ordeal, 5 NPC AIs and 5 real players. Well, in the one dungeon run that took the longest, 3 of the teammates decided to bounce or, not participate essentially. And, you can see it in a past video. I forget which dungeon it was. But, me being the tank and then the healer, the cleric that was with me, we had to 2-man the last huge wave of enemies and guards of the boss on top of the boss, herself. It was pretty wild. But we got the job done, and it was good times. But again, like I said, for this, skirmishes I think are favorite because even if you don't have a lot of time or you're just chilling and you're trying to kill time, between something that you got going on, in real life, you can just pop in and farm a skirmish or two and call, and progress your character. You get a chance at loots, and then you're pretty much done. As you can see here, the boss for this particular skirmish came in. Fraster looks like his name is, a big old ice giant dude. And from having played this skirmish multiple times, he comes in different spots. Like he arrives in different areas. And so, you kind of never know where they're coming from. And that's another thing with the skirmishes is even though the area is always the same and the enemies are the same, they always behave different. So it provides a different experience. And it's just overall good times. Like I said, it keeps it fresh, keeps it new. Now in my videos, if you're not aware, you haven't really watched any before in the past, and you are still watching now and listening, I always upload the very first encounter I have of said skirmish or said dungeon. I never post a second run through, in essence, of the entire duration or, a third or whatever. It's always the first one. So it's like you can kind of see me trying to learn it and see me trying to figure it out, and get a grasp on it and stuff like that. So it's it's a new experience for all of us, essentially, if you haven't yet encountered it or you haven't even played the game. So I that's what I like to do. Sometimes I'll upload clips from other runs, like I've loaded a couple dragon fights and stuff like that were from other activities that I had later in, just because they were pretty intense and fun, and I thought it would be good footage. But yeah, that wraps up this skirmish, and here we go getting the loot. Thank you for watching.